한번 겪어보네요. graduation ceremonies. We ask that you are respectful to all our graduates and their families. Once we start this evening, please silence your cell phones. We are a tobacco-free campus, and we ask that you please observe that request. There is a space for lawn chairs in the roped-off area of the field to better accommodate all of our families. Stadium bleachers are, of course, available for all our families, and handicap seating is reserved for those with a wristband. Please remain outside the roped area that is designated for our aged and handicapped guests and our graduates for the entire program. This allows all spectators an opportunity to view the ceremony. Professional photographers will be taking pictures of each graduate. Once the ceremony is completed, you are welcome to come down and take pictures within the roped area and on stage. Faculty and board members, and even our superintendent, Kyle Cruz, will be down here to take pictures with you after the ceremony. As much as humanly possible, and especially directed towards those crazy uncles that we all have in our families, please remain in your seats for the entire ceremony. We ask that you give each and every graduate the chance for their families to see them cross the stage and not have to take pictures of wacky Uncle Tim's back instead of their graduate. It's supposed to be funny. Restrooms are located in the brick concession stand by the scoreboard, and additional ladies' restrooms are located in the girls' locker room. There is a live stream to our graduation ceremony posted on the district webpage. It can also be found on the district and St. Clair High School Facebook pages, as well as the district's Twitter accounts. Finally, there's a big screen available for viewing on our ag parking lot out in front of our school. Thank you for your cooperation as we make tonight a memorable evening, and once again, I want to welcome you to St. Clair. Clair High School for this evening's 2020 graduation ceremonies. We ask that you are respectful to all our graduates and their families. Once we start this evening, please silence your cell phones. We're a tobacco-free campus, and we ask that you please observe this request. There is space for lawn chairs in the roped-off area of the field to better accommodate families. Stadium bleachers are, of course, available for all families. Handicap seating is reserved for those with a wristband. Please remain outside the roped area that is designed for our aged and handicapped guests and our graduates for the entire program. This allows all spectators an opportunity to view the ceremony. Professional photographers will be taking pictures of each graduate. Once the ceremony is completed, you are welcome to come down and take pictures within the roped area and on stage. Faculty and board members, and of course, our superior superintendent, Kyle Cruz, the man, the myth, the legend, will be down here also if you'd like a picture with him. You know, we all got one of those crazy uncles that goes crazy at events like this. We're just asking you, please remain in your seats as much as humanly possible so that every graduate's family can get a picture of their student and not crazy Uncle Tim's back. Restrooms are located in the brick concession stand down by the scoreboard. Additional ladies' restrooms are also located in the girls' locker room. There's going to be a live stream for our graduation ceremony tonight posted on the district webpage, and it can also be found on the district and St. Clair High School Facebook pages, as well as our district Twitter accounts. Finally, there is a big screen available for viewing on our ag parking lot in front of the school. Once again, thank you for your cooperation as we make tonight a memorable evening. And once again, welcome to St. Clair.
actually playing right now. Okay. Okay, guys, here we go. Just got the high set. A. Ready?
Thank you, Mr. Carth. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise and remove your hats to join St. Clair High School Band with choir seniors playing of our national anthem. Presenting the colors tonight are the members of the St. Clair High School JROTC.
Say does that star spangled
Ladies and gentlemen, we are excited to welcome you to St. Clair High School this evening. Our family of administration, faculty, staff, and students, thank you for attending tonight's commencement. We ask that you are respectful to all of our graduates and their families. If you haven't already done so, please silence your phones. We are a tobacco-free campus, and we ask that you observe that request. Please remain outside the roped area for the entire program. This allows all spectators an opportunity to view the ceremony. Professional photographers will be taking pictures for each graduate. Once the ceremony is completed, you will have the opportunity to take pictures within the roped area and the stage. Faculty and board members will be available for pictures as well. Please remain in your seats for the ceremony. We ask that you give each and every graduate the chance and their families to see them cross the stage. Thank you for your cooperation as you make tonight a memorable event. Many thank yous are in order for tonight's event. Thank you to Sarah Ziegler and our custodial crew who did an amazing job getting our facility ready. And thank you to Ron Hill and Jason Comia and Rod Piontek and Jeff Rigo for preparing everything in our facility. Can we give them a round of applause? Also, a huge thank you to Ken Scott for his service of well over 20 years to the district in setting up the sound system for the countless events, including tonight. And also thank you to Brad Banderman for his willingness to lend a hand in many ways throughout the year. Thank you again. Thank you to our counselors. Please stand. Mr. McCuskey, Mrs. Click, and Mrs. Sherritt. Thank you to Becky Branscombe, Janelle Tallur, and Brenda Anderson-Bruner. Your help is priceless. We're almost there. Thank you goes to the following as well. Our head senior sponsors, please stand, Mrs. Dalton and Mrs. O'Daniel. Thank you, ladies. St. Clair High School staff, please stand. We have some on each side. Thank you to your caring staff. These people put students' needs first every day. This staff has gone above and beyond to ensure these ladies and gentlemen are well prepared for their next journey in life. Would all faculty and staff and support members from our district in the crowd please stand, as we'd like to thank you for helping the class of 2020 cross this stage tonight. It's important to understand that each of you have played a vital role in the success of the class of 2020, and this year probably more than any year. We'd also like to recognize the following people who are seated on the stage this evening. These people represent the vision and leadership of the St. Clair R13 School District. Our school board members, Mr. David Burkle, our president, Mr. Craig Kendall, vice president, Mr. Danny Shadrick, treasurer, Mr. Craig Licklider, who's in absentia tonight, Mr. Rob Taylor, Mr. Russ King, Mr. Brian Henson. We have Dr. Cruz, Superintendent of Schools. We also have Mrs. Nadine H., our Assistant Superintendent, and we have Mr. Hamlet, our Assistant Principal, and Brian Robbins, our Activities Director. These men and women volunteer countless hours for the purpose of student safety, student learning, and the success of St. Clair R13. We thank you for your part in leading St. Clair School District to the top of Missouri's schools. Please give them a round of applause that you did, but thank you. And now, to give the invocation, Miss Maria Bazada.
Dear God, we are thankful to be sharing these last few moments of our high school careers together. Your love and guidance has helped us achieve our goals, and we pray that you will continue to help us learn alongside you as this chapter of our journey closes. as we face unknown challenges moving on, fill us with peace to accept present circumstances and the strength and determination to persevere for a brighter future. We pray that you will see the gift of giving in today and to choose joy in everything as we encourage others to do the same. Amen.
We are all proud of our seniors, our senior students this evening and congratulate each and every one of them on reaching this point tonight. A few of our students have achieved some milestones that we would like to recognize. Please follow in your program on the inside of the back page as we recognize and explain some of our special designations. And at this time, we will turn it over to Mr. Hamlet.
Thank you and congratulations, seniors. First, we would like to recognize our Renaissance four-year VIPs. So please stand when we call your name. First, Stephanie Bouvier, Jamie Branham, Allison Bright, Dylan Britton, Amanda Dalton, Grace Kelly, Hannah Licklider, Manny McQueen, Gracie Sohn, Mia Trotman, Mackenzie Turner, Leah Wallace, and Alyssa Wilkin. Congratulations on being four-year VIPs. You may be seated. We have two students who have achieved perfect attendance. Please stand when your name is called. Gibson Boyke, 5 years perfect attendance. And Amanda Dalton, 2 years perfect attendance. Congratulations, thank you. And finally, we have Bright Flight status. The following students achieved because of their ACT score of 31 or above. Please stand when your name is called. Dylan Britton, Grace Kelly, Hannah Licklider, and Manny McQueen. Congratulations.
Cords represent academic success achieved during our high school career. Gold cords represent summa cum laude status, meaning to graduate with the highest honor. Summa cum laude students, please stand when your name is called. Emily Barkhurst, Maria Bezada, Allison Bright, Dylan Britton, Amanda Dalton, Derek Fitzgerald, Joey Guyton, Logan Hanley, Calvin Henry, Catherine Hill, Alana Henson, Emma Henson, Caleb Hooks, Grace Kelly, Jonathan Kendall, Jolie King, McKaylin Lacrone, Mackenzie Lacrone, Hannah Licklider, Manny McQueen, Austin Moore, Lillian Orman, Brandon Schmiedeskamp, Gracie Zone, Alyssa Sullivan, Mia Troutman, and Oliver Williams. Thank you. Red cords represent magna cum laude status, meaning to graduate with great honor. Magna cum laude students, please stand when your name is called. Dora Bell, Nicholas Durking, Hannah Folk, Calvin Jurgens, Jill Love, Haley Revelle, Bethany Sullivan, and Kylie Weber. Thank you. White cords represent cum laude status, meaning to graduate with honor. Cum laude students, please stand when your name is called. Ryan Barrett, Gibson Boyke, Stephanie Bouvier, Caitlin Brown, Ashton Fedderson, Zoe Gazak, Andrea Engel, Tyler McDonald, Anthony Tucker Jr., and Mackenzie Turner. Thank you. The class of 2020. For the principal tribute, it is extraordinary to be working in my hometown. Many of you know that. Dean and I have made many lasting friendships here. We know that this is a special place. Our little town donated nearly $70,000 in local scholarships to the class of 2020. It's pretty amazing. Where else can you find award-winning student council sponsors like ours, and our band, and our choir, and theater, and art teachers who have students scoring top honors while performing and displaying their talents throughout the state? Where else can you find nationally recognized JROTC? Just another way that St. Clair High School is special. Our color guard, like tonight, performs at the majority of our events. Your class made history this year, if you noticed. There were 27 summa cum laude students. 27. We have been proud to watch you all take the stage, the field, the mat, and the court, representing St. Clair High School Bulldogs with hustle, heart, and pride. That doesn't just happen anywhere and everywhere, and it makes us so unique. These students who you have entrusted to us look out for each other. They work hard, and they like to have some fun. This is your first successful graduation as an adult. You have been scrappy. You are beginning a new chapter where you can be the star in your success story. You will be the main character who has grit and perseveres. You will lift others up. You will be successful because you are a Bulldog. My wish for you, the class of 2020, is a quote from Abraham Lincoln. I like to see a man proud of the place in which he lives. I like to see a man live so that his place will be proud of him. Be proud of St. Clair High School and continue to make us proud of you. Congratulations, class of 2020. And at this time, we will turn this over to Mrs. Carmen Rosala, the District Teacher of the Year, for the congratulatory address.
To the senior class of 2020, you planned quite a skip day. I wish it would not have lasted so long, but I commend you nonetheless. Also, who knew that prom could be after graduation? If there was going to be a class to shake things up a bit, it would have been yours. One of my favorite childhood books growing up, and no, it was not the Anatomy and Physiology textbook. It was There is a Monster at the End of This Book. It starred Grover from Sesame Street. At the beginning of the book, it explained that there would be a monster at the end of the book. Well, Grover begged and pleaded for the reader not to turn the page. As the reader turned the page, Grover tried to stop it. He tried to tie it closed, nail it closed, even brick wall it closed. Each and every time the page was turned until the end of the book was reached. The monster was actually him. He had been scared of himself all along. So why am I telling you this? Well, this book can relate to so many parts of your lives. When your mom and dad dropped you off on your first day of school, you may have been scared for them to leave. You cried, you chased them, you pulled on their hand. And even after that, they still left you. They knew, though, that you were in good hands with all these amazing teachers here. You were still scared, but you know what? They came back and got you at the end of the day. When you had lost your first baseball, volleyball, softball, soccer, basketball, football game, band and speech competition, and you didn't want to play another game or go to another competition because you thought you would lose. You played the next game and the next game, and you finally won. Well, this book is about life. You are always going to be put into uncomfortable situations. Fear will cause you to do one of two things. It may cause you to forget everything and run, or it will cause you to face everything and rise. You have to take the chance to move forward. It will shape you into the adult you are trying to become. As the great Dr. Gregory House once said, time changes everything. That's what people say. It's not true. Doing things changes things. Not doing things leaves these things exactly the way they were. Pretty smart guy. This class has come to mean the world to me. I mean, my Anatomy 2 class was the first class that ever saw me pass out. I always warned you that it was possible, but I mean, I literally passed out on you. I fell out of my chair. That would have been a good video to post on Snapchat if you were allowed to have your phones out. Remember how we had to follow the Doppler Dale fan page to see if his forecast for snow was going to cancel school the next day? His forecasts are always spot on. I remember having to tell a young freshman student, Derek, to stop trying to watch March Madness on his Chromebook. March Madness being canceled this year should be a sign, or at least karma. I remember singing a smile to an Andy Engel after a softball game. The visit from Gertrude and Clara will always be a personal favorite memory. As I come to a close, class of 2020, my advice to you is turn the page. If you need someone to help you turn the page, find that person. A famous line from the TV show Grey's Anatomy, "You're my person." Meredith told Christina that she was her person. So please, find your person. It could be your future spouse, your parents, your siblings, a friend, or you can call me and I will help you turn that page. But do not be scared of your next stage. You have the choice to become amazing adults. You cannot do that if you are constantly scared of what may happen next. Do not let you be scared of you. I will end my speech with my last science, English, history fact that I will ever teach you. There was a word that was first used when astronaut John Glenn was launched into orbit in 1962 in his spacecraft Friendship 7. I will also use this word to end my speech. This word means an expression of good wishes to a person starting a new journey. You are starting one of the most important journeys of your life. So to the class of 2020, I wish you Godspeed.
And now for the class address, we have Brandon Schmiedeskamp, our class president.
When we were younger, everyone would ask, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" We would immediately blurt out answers such as a doctor, a lawyer, or even an astronaut. And some of us even gave abstract answers, like a dinosaur, a king or queen, a princess, or even a knight. Those who asked us this question expected a definite answer, as if growing up was finite. Like we were supposed to grow up, become someone, and that was the end. This is one of the most restrictive questions an adult can ask a child. Why should people limit their possibilities when their opportunities are endless? Going up to now, there are so many things that I want to do. So to answer that question, I still don't know. Some of us will pursue college for 2, 4, 6, or even 8 years. Some of you have decided to enlist into our military, which is very brave and patriotic. Some will enter the workforce, and some will pursue a trade. Each of these pathways is unique to the individual and has endless opportunities. When I wasn't in class, you could find me doing one of 3 things: working, reading, or running track. I've been running track since 7th grade. For some reason, running 300-meter hurdles both captivated and frightened me. The fear of landing face first on the gritty hard pavement was a fear for me. However, I received advice from both of my coaches that would stick with me forever. The 2 most important elements of hurdling is the initial approach and the mindset of the runner. The way you approach a hurdle will determine form and stability. If your approach is off, the odds of successfully jumping a hurdle is slim. Remember, this is only the first step. The second factor is mindset. If a hurdler approaches a hurdle with a negative mindset, they are destined to fail. It is important to have both a positive mindset and a stable approach when facing any challenge. With these two factors, working in pure clarity, there is no challenge too big for any of us. Once these skills are mastered, everything else falls into place. I can state in confidence that our class is a family. From freshman year to now, each of us is connected in a unique way. Stories, memories, and inside jokes are elements that define us as a class. I know this year did not go as planned, and I'm sorry. But I had to be reminded from time to time that our life is just beginning. Be thankful for the things we did get to experience. And unfortunately, there aren't some things that we'll never get to experience. But it's amazing to see how we came together as a school, a community, a state, and most importantly, as a nation. But let me remind you that we are one of the strongest classes to have ever graduated. The times we face were not easy by no means, but something like this truly does bring out the good in people. Our staff and administration did everything they can to help every student, and they tried to honor us the best that they could. Remember to thank the staff and administration, because without their dedicated efforts, we would not be able to celebrate this milestone tonight. I wanted to take this time and recognize a few individuals who have inspired and guided me over the past 4 years. Mrs. Durker, your endless support and guidance meant more to me than you understand. Not only did you guide me towards a career, but you always provided me with amazing opportunities to help me invest directly into my future. From the New York trip we went on and going to Decca State, all of these experiences will carry on to my future. Thank you. Mrs. Rosala, Anatomy 1 and 2 were the most challenging classes I had. However, your class and teaching style gave me insight into college. You taught me to believe in my answers and to stop second-guessing every single answer. I will never forget where the sternocleidoid muscle is. Thank you for an amazing 3 years of classes and unforgettable sarcasm. Mrs. Schoonover, English was not my strong suit, and I'll admit that it was a very challenging class. However, as challenging as that class was, I figured out that even in difficult classes, I can still overcome any obstacle, even if that meant putting in more effort than others had to. Also, Key Club was an amazing experience and one of my favorite clubs. Thank you. Coach Garmer, the past 3 years on the track were unforgettable. From throwing raw chickens and preseason workouts, you have done so much for me as an athlete. Thank you for everything, and I can't wait to continue my track career in college. And finally, Mom and Dad. Your endless support and love and encouragement have kept me on track these past 4 years. I would not be where I am today without you. From all of my family dinners I missed and days where I wouldn't get home until 11 o'clock, throughout it all, you always kept supporting me. Throughout the hard times and even the easy times. And I know how much you sacrificed for me, and I wouldn't be here without your love and support. I am truly thankful for everything. I love you so much. As mentioned before, you could probably catch me in my free time reading. I've been reading all my life. Books to me were a prime source of knowledge. I like to think of life as a book. Pieces of our lives separated into different chapters. These past 4 years are just a small chapter of our novel. When we finish reading any book, we usually toss it back on the shelf and never read it again. The symbolism is there with these 4 years. Don't close your book and toss it onto a shelf. Instead, turn the page and start a new chapter. Life is just beginning for us. Our high school chapter has just concluded, but our journey into adulthood has just begun. Before I conclude tonight, I wanted to thank each and every one of you. Being able to serve as a senior class president was an absolute honor and privilege that I will carry in my heart for the rest of my life. And before you leave tonight, try to thank someone who has helped you along the way. It could be a parent, grandparent, or even a friend. And now, as we move on to our next chapter, and no matter how far we go, never forget where you came from. Once a bulldog, always a bulldog. Thank you.
Great job, Brandon. Next, we have Lillianne Orman, our to do the class address for the Student Council President.
I want to start things off by saying how incredibly grateful I am that we're all here right now. I think that in the last 4 months, we've all had our doubts that this day would ever even come. After it was announced that we wouldn't be going back to school, I realized I would only have a handful of opportunities to be here with all of you before we go our separate ways. So before I get started, I encourage everyone here to take a moment to realize how special this time is. There are people sitting next to you right now that you might never see again. Presence matters, so be here in this moment right now. Because if there's one thing we've all learned from the last few months, it's that we should appreciate what we have while we can, because it can be gone in the blink of an eye. Now on to the speech that I almost didn't get to give. Ever since middle school, I was determined to be Bulldog of the Year. I wanted to do it all. I tried everything, even volleyball. But it took time to find what I was truly good at and where I belonged. Then I discovered student council. Shout out to my Stuco kids. I love you guys. It's been an honor to serve as the student body president for the past 2 years. And I thank you all for giving me the opportunity. In Stuco meetings, we have an agenda that we follow. I've been running those meetings for about 2 years now, and while I don't know how to give a speech like this, I do know how to run a meeting. So if you don't mind, that's how this is going to go. I've printed off our agenda, and I've taped one under all the graduate seats. So if you want to follow along, you can get that. I taped it good. It was kind of windy today. Sorry. The first thing on the agenda is to review the minutes, which is basically just making sure that everyone knows what happened at the last meeting. If you recall, the last time we were all here together was on March 12th. None of us knew that would be our last day of high school, and I'm sure many of you, like myself, would probably have done things differently. If you could go back, what would you change about your last day of high school? Would you have shared your Uncrustable with your friend at lunch, knowing that you'd never sit in the cafeteria with them again? Would you have turned in your anatomy packet on time? Would you have laughed at one of Mr. Pritchard's lame history jokes? Would you have ordered pizza even though it was against the rules? Sorry, Janelle, love you. All jokes aside, that day will always have a special meaning to all of us. We can't go back, but we can take this lesson with us in the future and live every day like it's our last. Next on the agenda is shout-outs. In this portion of the meeting, I like to recognize people that I appreciate. Every one of you has someone who has helped guide you in the right direction to be sitting here today, graduating high school, ready to step into the world and be amazing. Without the loving guidance of our parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, siblings, teachers, and friends, none of us would be here. I would like to thank my incredible family for supporting me through everything and encouraging me to push myself to reach my goals, especially my parents who have yet to disown me after wrecking my car 3 times. I love you guys. I also want to thank Mrs. Durker, our student council advisor. She cares so much about SCHS and works hard every day to hold the place together. Ms. Durker, thank you for the opportunities you've given me to grow and to experience leadership. Next up on our agenda is old business. This is the piece of the meeting where we reflect on the past and remind ourselves of important things. So I thought for our meeting today, we would take a trip down memory lane of what high school has looked like for us. We have experienced a solar eclipse, the Blues winning the Stanley Cup, and a worldwide pandemic, all in just the past 4 years. Our senior year has been the most memorable by far, from watching the VOTAC boys running to catch the bus every morning to watching the Powder Puff cheerleaders dominate at halftime. Some of my favorite memories have been seeing Dexter Hanley break it down at every school dance and watching Jamie Branham pass out at the blood drive not once but twice. We've shared some incredible moments together, and we've made memories that will last in our hearts forever. The last section on the agenda is new business. In this portion of the meeting, we talk about new and exciting things that are happening, as well as what to look forward to in the future. The future looks different for each of us. For those of you that will be joining the military, I want to thank you for your commitment to our country, and may God bless you. For those of you that are going away to college, I hope you have the time of your lives and make good choices. May God bless you. For those of you that are going straight into the workforce, I wish you success and happiness, and may God bless you. For those of you that don't know what your plan is yet, don't sweat it. Life has a way of falling into place, and God will bless you. Class of 2020, wherever life takes you, I hope that you're living a life that fulfills you in every way, and may God bless you. Thank you.
Do we have some speakers around here or what? Those folks were great. Great job, Lily. The class of 2020. Are you ready for this? Mrs. Rosala, Mrs. H., Dr. Cruz, Mr. Hamlet, Mr. Robbins, and members of the St. Clair R13 Board of Education. Having met the credits and requirements as set forth by the Missouri Department of Elementary and Secondary Education, as well as the rules and regulations set forth by the St. Clair R13 Board policies, I do hereby certify these students as candidates for graduation and eligible for a diploma from St. Clair High School. The presentation of the diplomas will happen with Mr. Burkle and Mr. Kendall. You guys will be handing those. Are you guys ready? Are you ready? Okay. Would the front row rise and come forward? Miss Rosala, you're going to come with me. They're going to do the diplomas and we'll hand. Okay, so what am I doing?
Oliver John Marshall Williams.
Jamie Lynn Branham.
Kate Hill.
Dylan Riley Britton.
Haley Joe Revelle.
Emily Grace Barkhurst.
Grace Olivia Simcox.
Grace Catherine Kelly.
Maria June Renee Bozada.
Brandon Michael Schmiedeskamp.
Lily Ann Grace Orman.
Caitlin Olivia Brown.
Mackenzie Elaine Lacrone.
Jill Marie Love.
Michaelin Elise Lacrone.
Alana Nicole Henson.
Austin Hayden Lee Twitchell.
Jolie Marie King.
Summer Marie Hake.
Gracie Page Sohn.
Andrew David Heulinghoff.
Cassidy Ann Shoemate.
Logan Joseph Durker.
Michaela Ann Parmalee.
Mason Carter Woodcock.
Nicole Ivy Moore.
Tristan Spoon.
Andrea Lee Engel.
Salvatore Joseph Caminiti IV.
William Joseph Dobbs.
Tate Ray Camper.
Jake O'Connor.
Drake Kelly.
Cassandra Elizabeth Ellen Fryer.
Colin L. Mangrum.
Joey Marie Guyton.
Gunnar Matthew Lahr.
Mercedes Lynn Haft.
Caleb Dale Sullivan.
William James McKenzie V.
Kylie Marie Weber.
Tiffany Lynn Kessler.
Madison Grace Kennedy.
Jessica Taylor O'Loyd.
Zoe Danae Gazak.
Haley Fowler.
Mackenzie Lynn Turner.
Lindsay Marie Kinder.
Caitlin Denise Hawther.
Brandon Dace.
Anna Marie Leak.
Brendan Dace.
Isabella Jolene Obi.
Dexter Keith Hanley.
Alyssa Kelly Sullivan.
Michael Cash.
Emily Esther Eggerding.
Austin Michael Brown.
Julia Susan Sampson.
Kyle Austin Banderman.
Bethany Grace Sullivan.
Josie Hall.
Emma Grace Henson.
Jalen Limke.
Austin Michael Moore.
Dylan Sohn.
Allison Corinne Bright.
Zachary Vaughn.
Lexus Lynn Oberndorfer.
Reese Ryan Hanley.
Alyssa Ann Wilkin.
Kylie Anna Marie Barton.
Madison Marler.
Christina Jean Parker.
Kay Moriarty.
Isabella Hill.
Gage Jones.
James Heredia.
Ashley Garrison.
Nicholas Elijah Koob.
Derek Allen Benton.
Austin John Duff.
Dawson Grant McCutcheon.
Derek Lewis Fitzgerald.
Ryan McKinley Crow.
Calvin Kennedy Henry.
Calvin James Jurgens.
Brandy Taylor.
Bea Elliott.
Augustus Franklin Land.
Sydney Green.
Dalton Bradley Thompson.
Haley Elizabeth Stoff.
Chase Blankenship.
Robert William Ivy.
Dakota Anthony Richardson.
Mia Nicole Trotman.
Justin Che Hoffman.
Manny McQueen.
Jonathan Keith Kendall.
Peyton Purcell.
Ryan Scott Barrett.
Caleb Hooks.
Damian James McCoy.
Drake Murphy.
Dayton Joseph Turner.
Logan Hanley.
Brendan Stricker.
Christopher McNew.
Logan Hiley.
Joshua Davis.
Wilson Long.
Ashton Thomas Fedderson.
Jake Humphrey.
Allison Michelle Bowl.
Nicholas Christopher Durking.
James Summers.
Skylar Stamps.
Skylar Johnson.
Sarah Klein.
Alyssa Evelyn McCormick.
Alexandria Hill.
Connor Draves.
Stephanie Bouvier.
Chastity Reese.
Brady Black.
Savannah Neal.
Tyler McDonald.
Ramsey Hallman.
Jacob Fritz.
Anthony Wayne Tucker Jr.
Lloyd Curry IV.
Leah Marie Wallace.
Meredith Raquel Howard.
Jaden Slidham.
Hayden Renee Lanier.
Carissa Hegel.
Shauna Hale.
Dora Elaine Bell.
Skylar Anne Marie Bradford.
Alex Hickman.
Caden Claude Osak.
Elizabeth Wisdom.
David Mullenix.
Seth Mitchell Lewis Harlow.
Gina Marie Lovell.
Haley Marie Richards.
Madison Lee Williams.
Chastity Lynn Hearn.
Jaden Neville.
Elizabeth May Davis.
Alex Abbott Hansel.
Raphael Aaron Allen.
Gabe Prutianu.
Elijah Ali Allen.
December Jackson.
Gibson Boyke.
Hannah Mae Folk.
Owen Roussan.
Amanda Jane Dalton.
Keishi Lynn Lindsay.
also would like to take a moment to recognize we have 3 students who have already left for military service that we would like to take a moment to recognize. The first one is Hannah Nicole Licklider. And we do have banners set up for them in the seating area as well. The next one is Addison Max Paul McCall. And finally, we have Lawson Dale McCutcheon.
Thank you. And thanks to those students who have left us a little bit ahead of time to head to the military. We do appreciate their service. At this time, we welcome Grace Kelly to the stage for the turning of the tassel. Right there in green, hon. You can adjust the mic.
Hey, Mr. Carth, can I get a drum roll? Okay, the time has come. Class of 2020, please join me in symbolizing our completion of high school by turning your tassel from the right to the left.
Not yet, 2020. We're not ready yet. They did it again. We're not yet there. You guys are a little bit early. That's spring break. Here we go. Friends, families, guests. Mr. Burkle and members of the school board, it is truly my honor to present to you the St. Clair High School class of 2020. Congratulations.
Unspeakable joy.